Hi everybody, welcome back to the Natural Healing Ninjas with Christine and
Hi, I'm Laura Lee.
Laura Lee. We're going to talk today about something that I want to know a lot about because I've been hearing a lot about this. Nicotine, why is it so good? Where are you going?
Sorry, I just had to get my notes.
You
Sorry
got to
about
get her
that.
notes. Why is it so good for you? Why is it so good for you?
You're going to be surprised about this. I just watched Dr. Ardis show, that's ARDIS show.com, and he's got a lot of information about nicotine being good for you. And the reason being, it's I can't say this word, CURE, for a lot of things that ails us.
Yes, we are not doctors. We're not medical professionals.
We're natural healing ninjas.
We're natural healing ninjas.
We're just giving you information that we're pulling off of other places too, and we think it's pretty pertinent to the situation because people are having this thing called long haul.
Oh, long haul.
Long haulers COVID.
Ah. Is that what Dr. Ardis was talking about?
Right. A lot of people are coming to their dentist mostly, believe it or not.
What?
Because their long haulers COVID is that you had a mild case of the COVID-19 back since January 2023, and you just felt, just got a mild case of it, but it's never let go. It has been lingering. And the lingering symptoms are ringing in the ears, high blood pressure, diabetes, loss of taste and smell, brain fog, chest pain. And these are lingering symptoms that doctors don't know how to treat because they want to throw tons of antibiotics at people, and that's not what's cutting it. What cuts it is nicotine.
But why a dentist? Why are you talking about
Because
dentists?
they're losing their teeth. Because the vaccination, especially if you've been vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, don't freak out or anything. Just do something about it.
I wonder if we can use that word on here on Y2.
You know what? We'll find out. But we just want to get to the antidote for what's going on.
Yeah.
And what's going on is pretty meaty stuff, and you can believe it or not. But it's not about a belief system.
That's why we're the Natural Healing Ninjas.
Yeah. It's not about a belief system. It's about educating yourself. If you don't believe me, go check out Dr.Ardis, ARDIS show.com, and he has all the backup, all the information, all the resources. Everything's legit. He's risking his MD doctor position to get this information out to us. But he's been doing it for 3.5 years, and he's going gangbusters. People want him to speak all over the world because the world's been impacted by these jabs. So the antidote to the jabs is nicotine. And the reason is because nicotine has the receptors for venom protein. And the venom protein is in all of the jabs. And also they've been in the air, in the water, and if you got shedded on also. So you take nicotine patches in increments until you get to 3.5, and you just patch every day until all this mess gets cleaned up. Like the chemtrails, for example.
So what do they do for you? That's what I'm curious about. How do they affect your body? What does they do? Do they kill the virus? Do they affect?
It latches onto, that ball that they have with all those suckers on it?
Yeah.
That's what nicotine latches onto and then sends it out of the system.
Oh.
Actually neutralizes it, kills it on the spot,
so
basically.
So then if you use that and ivermectin you're talking about?
And use ivermectin if you, depending on how if you have long haul COVID, it depends if you how many vaccinations you've taken.
How many jabs?
Yeah, jabs, and how and also and how many and what kind, what flavor is it from Johnson & Johnson or the other guys?
Yeah.
So there's variables, but it's easy to figure out. Just multiply your poundage, because all natural healers, we dose people with their own weight.
With their weight.
That's right. So you take 2.2 and divide it into your weight and then multiply it by 2.0, and then you get the dosage.
But the dosage for
the nicotine patches.
The nicotine patches.
So they don't sell, the dose would be for, I take 3.5 milligrams.
You have it on your...
Every day. I have it wherever I'm hurting, I put it. And if I'm working hard on the ranch, then that's where I put it. But I don't hurt, really.
Why do you need to put it on where you hurt?
If you have a problem, the nicotine will start addressing it right away because it's a master herb and it's a nutrient, not a chemical.
And who's been against this all this time?
That's a really big question. I could answer it, but I can do that. They're weaponizing viruses with venom protein, and they are actually, the nicotine negates that. So they want to get rid of nicotine. So they're blaming nicotine, which is a nutrient that is not addictive and it does not cause cancer. What causes cancer and addiction is the thiazines that they put in, starts with the P. Thiazines that they put in, they put 599 chemicals in a typical cigarette or smoking vape product, whatever product you're doing that has tobacco in it.
Yeah.
If they put 599 chemicals in it, and 15 of those chemicals are thiazine, which causes addiction. That's what makes you addicted.
And the lung cancer that they go to, it's because of the smoke from
Because
these
the
chemicals.
tar. Because the tar and because, right.
It's tar and nicotine.
No, tar is not a nicotine. Nicotine is a nutrient that you can find in cauliflower, eggplant. So you got tobacco's got more nicotine in it than any plant. Eggplant has second nicotine in it, and shaded tomatoes, things, all the shaded vegetables that they tell you not to consume.
Right.
Okay, because the American Murder Association, I'll just get to the chase. In my opinion, this is all our opinion, and we have every right for opinion.
Yes,
but
we're
you
not
need
doctors.
and you need to develop your own opinion by doing some research.
Yeah, like we've been doing.
And so we're just
research.
right, and we're just cutting to the chase so you don't have to spend so much time because we're semi-retired, which is great.
I like that.
I love being 65. You know, it's pretty cool. But I'm still working away because this is work with what I'm doing and what Dr. Artis is doing, and we'll probably all keep on beating that drum until people wake up to that drum and start beating to their own drum.
I heard like pine needle tea was good for it.
Pine needle tea is awesome, and that's because of the something in it, and it's because it is a pine needle. It's a sappy.
It has an acid.
Yeah, so it has some titro. I can't remember what the name of it.
Yeah.
There's an element in pine needle tea that you could just have pine needles and make a tea out of.
Right.
But I would throw the whole kitchen sink at it, which would be ivermectin, and what's that blue stuff called?
Methylene blue.
Methylene blue, and then the nicotine.
And methylene blue, let's explain methylene blue. It's sort of like colloidal silver, I think.
Okay.
It's an antibiotic.
Okay.
And you can take it every day. You don't turn blue. But it's a very blue substance. You can take it in a tincture or in a capsule form, a capsule or a caplet. And it has the blue methylene.
Beautiful blue color.
Yes.
By the way, my friend puts it in her grandkids' drinks and shows it to them in a bottle, like a nice bottle, and they love it because of the color.
Because of the color.
Doesn't taste like anything but water.
Well, you can't. That's all it tastes like. You can't taste it. I take about 4 drops a day.
So that can do. So all that I throw it. Then I would just settle into nicotine and do a patch until all this cleans up. But who is assaulting nicotine? Who's banning a nicotine? Is the people who are planning future pandemics. Because they're using viruses, right? They're using viruses to weaponize against us, and they're using venom protein from snails and snakes and spiders and fish.
I didn't know snails had venom.
You'd be surprised what has venom out there. But there's a bunch of venom
that have venom.
That's right. I think they're taking their own medicine here, but they're mixing these venom, and then they artificially created it. So now they can put it in all our prescription medications. Has venom in there.
No kidding.
Yes. Because it brings it up or it brings it down. But you can control venom and you can control a populace.
That it has petrochemicals in it from.
That's bad enough, yeah. That's just
I know
the
that
filler
it has
stuff.
that, but venom?
Yeah.
How did he find this out? This is curiosity.
This is a very good question. I love her questions. Watch the Water, Part 1. Watch the Water, Part 2. It is a documentary that breaks all that down.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Talks all about where the pharmaceuticals, their big secret. It's just like a chef having a secret recipe. It's part of their recipe.
And,
I hate to say.
And watch the water means they put it in the water?
It's sort of an acronym, but it's everywhere. That's sort of why watch the water.
It's in the chemtrails. It's in the water. If it's in the chemtrails, it would be in the water.
It's in us. What are we going to do about it? nicotine, get a patch.
Ivermectin.
3.5. If you're in trouble, do ivermectin. Ivermectin is good to do once a year anyway, because we collect worms, we collect
Every
parasites,
6 months,
we
I would
collect
think.
funguses.
Yeah.
So in the ranches out in Colorado, we're in California right now. Out in Colorado, every 6 months they give the cattle and the people ivermectin or whatever they use, because there's other ones they can use
Because
too,
of the parasites.
to get rid of the parasites, the worms, and the funguses. Now the fungus is what goes on your toe.
That's what's happening to my toe.
And that's coming from the inside out, because your feet are in shoes maybe too much. Are they?
Well,
They might be. I'm not scolding you or anything. She's got cute little tootsies here, and I love seeing them because I never see them.
but my toenails turned fungus, and I thought it was from a digestive problem.
It is. It's like an overflow of fungus, but it ended up in your feet because your body's trying to get rid of it. But it's a perfect place, dark, moist.
Well, I put poke
That's
root
what
on it
fungus wants.
to draw it out, but I've
Okay.
yet to see any kind of.
How did that work for that spot on your leg?
Well,
This is a story about poke root, which is if you have something that you want that's in your body trying to get out, pull it out.
it was right there. This
There
thing
it's
started growing, and it was this big.
like a scab, a big, thick,
Yeah, but it was more
black.
It was more flesh or skin. It was more skin.
Yeah.
Like layers and layers and layers of skin, and it turned out to this big bump. And I thought, boy, I have to go to the doctor to have it cut off. And Laura Lee says, no, you can use poke root on that. And I, fine, let's try that.
It never hurts to try
I'm
natural,
not
by
going
the
to
way.
put
Natural
nicotine
doesn't hurt
patch
you.
on it, but
Yeah. Give it a try.
So you can buy poke root salve online.
Perfect.
What
Much
I-
easier.
What I did was take the poke root bark and I ground it up and put it in castor oil.
Perfect.
So it's the same thing.
Castor oil with pulls
Yeah,
off. That's perfect.
every morning, every night, I just put a little bit on and then I put a Band-Aid on it. And I tell you, within 3 weeks to a month, it fell off. It just
Yeah.
completely
that's
fell. I was
because-
like, oh my gosh, it fell off.
I know. And if something starts coming out of your body, don't think things are going wrong. It's actually going right. You want that out of your body.
It's cleaning it out.
There was a dog that got coincidentally bit by a snake, and so they went to the vet. It took 4 hours to get to the vet. The poor little dog's leg was all swollen and everything, and it came out. It oozed out when they were going on vacation. The dog's leg oozed out. I'd go, yahoo, way to go, the dog's body's doing great. No, they took him to the vet and they put him down.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm like, whoa, people need to know this stuff. I put a nicotine patch on my fiance's shoulder. He has a black spot. I've been working with it on different things, but I thought I'd try the nicotine patch. Bam. One application, and you change every 24 hours the patches.
Oh, do you?
And bam, it
I
came
think
off.
I have 14 milligrams in the one that I bought.
So you want to cut it into 3.5, which is to cut it 4 ways, right?
4 ways or even
Even
8
another
ways.
way.
8 ways.
Start at 1 milligram and build up to 3.5, or figure out that weight
But
thing.
that's good for the jab, you say.
The jab, or there's a whole bunch of other things that it helps with. The brain fog, chest pain, the diabetes,
Well,
loss of taste, smell,
brain fog for me.
ringing in the ear,
I have to take some of that.
ringing in the ears.
I bought the nicotine patch originally because I was going to get some dental work done, and they were going to give me Novocaine, and I didn't want it to affect me. I wanted it to draw it out as it was, and as it was, they didn't use any Novocaine, so now I have the patches and I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool. Because multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ulcerative colitis, arthritis. How many of you guys are on drugs for arthritis? And you'll have it for the rest of your life. That's all bull crap. Sepsis. That's a hard one.
What is sepsis?
That's what you get when you go to the hospital and they have all this bacteria going around, and so it's flesh-eating bacteria.
Ooh,
yeah,
no,
and you go to hospitals to get that. But anyway, if you have sepsis, nicotine patch.
What about a tick bite?
Tick bite? I would put it on tick bite because what the nicotine does, it's a nutrient.
And
It helps your
draws
body,
out.
helps itself, whatever it needs.
It draws
Pulling
it
it out,
Yeah.
just eating it, just
Yeah,
neutralizing it.
Well, this is interesting. An interesting why you brought it up is because so many people are now feeling really bad about taking the jab. They said, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done it, my friend talked me into it, blah, blah, blah.
There are no mistakes.
And so I wanted to find something like pine needle tea or ivermectin, but this is another thing that can be used.
Major.
That's natural. Well, Native Americans smoked nicotine for years.
Yep.
Without any of the chemicals in it. And they still do. I mean, you can buy beautiful tobacco from these tobacco stores now that are, it's just
Pure, nice.
pure,
Yeah.
the pure leaf
Right.
of
That's $599.
yeah. So I think that there's a natural way to heal everything, because the medical industry, they call it the industry
It's
now.
a moneymaker.
And it came into being, what, 200 years ago, 150 years ago?
Not too long ago.
And so that took over all of the natural sources that
They
we
stomped
use.
us out. I have a whole, I should do a whole video on
Yeah,
that.
on that, because
The history of what happened
they
there.
stopped it down because they wanted to use the petrochemicals.
That's right.
And they wanted to put them into the pharmaceuticals, so they made another big industry about the petrochemicals. And I can go on about laundry detergent, that they have petrochemicals in laundry detergent that you shouldn't be using on your clothes because it gets into the weave, you put it up against your body, it makes you sick.
And you breathe it in also.
Yes, and you breathe it in. And just the same thing like when you put the softeners in the washing machine. It's all oil. It's all, it gets caught in the weave, and you can't get it out.
It turns from plastic to oil.
Yeah, and all these things that they're making money on.
Convenient. It's
Yeah.
all for convenience and
Yeah.
taking the stains out and everything.
And they're brainwashing us, thinking that
That's right.
We have to do this quickly. We have to let's do it conveniently because we have to go to work.
And let me tell you about the brainwashing part, because everybody probably watching this video is going, nicotine's bad for you.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes,
highly
yes.
addictive and it causes cancer.
That's
That's
what.
a
that's what I
propaganda.
thought
It's
when
a
you
flat out
told me.
lie. It's
Yeah.
a flat out lie. Now there's 5 nations that are banning nicotine in 2030. Guess what 5 nations are? Guess what the 5 nations are?
America.
America, Canada, the UK,
Oh, of course.
New Zealand, and Australia. And today is June 24th, 2025.
25th.
25th, 2025.
25th. That's
So
okay.
the salt is by the government, because the government and the pharmaceuticals and everybody have skin in the game. Anybody who's making money. But the real culprits is the media and the medical doctors. The doctors might not know.
No, I think I know that because they get into these medical schools, and this is what they learn. They learn that you've got this, you take that. You've got this, you take that. Instead of saying, what did you eat last night? Or, how is your exercise? Or how are you feeling lately? What's your mental health? The only problem with asking about your mental health is that they get caught up into it and want to medicate your mental health. That's why they ask you how your mental health is when you go to these appointments. I know. I've been in there. I'll get you a prescription for depression. I don't think so.
We need to stop this behavior. Going to these white coats with stethoscopes, they're mind controlled too, as far as I'm concerned, because they go into college thinking that they want to help people, and they go out thinking that they want to make a ton of money to get their money back.
Or
They don't
they're
think
still
nature
thinking
or
that they're
exercise.
helping people. They're mind controlled, thinking that they're helping people, which they aren't.
No, because nature does, not
Yes.
drugs and surgery.
Right.
And it's interesting because the history of natural healing and allopathic, there were vitalists and there was allopathic. And the vitalist took care of, after the allopathic took care of the emergency,
Yeah.
and the vitalist would stabilize the person, and then they would teach them not to get in that trouble again.
Right.
And if they're injured, they just teach them how to walk again or whatever, and then they get back to walking. But the American Murder Association decided, because the petrochemicals, that they want to use us, and they had a whole pile of extra byproduct, and they had to put it somewhere, so they put it into prescription. Every prescription drug has 70%.
And laundry detergent.
Yeah. So we got this petrochemicals coming through our
The thing is,
system.
we have to do a whole nother video on this.
Yes,
About
we do.
about petrochemicals, about gas and oil and where does it come from? And it's not from dinosaurs. We have to.
It's a renewable source. It's a renewable source. That's a funny thing. So, what's so important? Why is the media and why does the medical want to stop nicotine? It's because it stands in the way of viral vaccinations, and that's how they want
What
to
a
take a lot of
surprise.
us out.
What a
is through
surprise.
weaponizing viruses. And nicotine, if more of us don't smoke, this is not about smoking, okay? This is about patch, gum, consistently every day, and the receptors from the nicotine will take a lot of things out that hurt us.
I would think that the patch would be the best way because the gum may have other chemicals in it that you don't
I
want.
wouldn't want to chew on nicotine gum, but I guess
No.
they flavor it and makes, I don't know. I've never had a piece of nicotine gum.
The thing is they probably put chemicals into it. So I would do straight on.
The patch,
yeah.
And just so you know, if you're poor and on assistance at all, you can get patches for free. Just contact your social worker and they'll get you patches for free. Because remember,
kidding.
the bad guys don't want people to smoke. They don't want people to be consuming nicotine. So the bad guys are in charge of the social services and everything, so they're pushing quit smoking. They want nicotine off. No nicotine, you can't smoke it, you can't patch it, you can't gum it by 2030.
But wait a minute.
So those five countries are going to make it where we can't get
is
nicotine.
really bad for you, only because of the chemicals that are in there,
And because of the tar.
and it causes cancer, lung
Right,
cancer.
right. It's hard on the lungs,
Yes,
right.
yes. Because I have friends who smoke, and it's just a sad situation because they keep coughing.
And the thing with the long haul COVID too, whatever symptoms that you have that were just sitting there sort of in neutral are coming out because that mixture that they got going here.
Right.
With the venom creates that. So look up snake venom and stuff and see what it does to the body. It numbs you out. I know that. It kills your butt, but it's in a little small dose.
So you just
It's a
get
different experience.
Yeah.
Every time you take prescription medication
and it makes you mind control.
it can mind control you very easily.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even count the nanotechnology that the cell towers will kick in. But you guys might have heard about all this stuff and everything. Do homework yourself.
Yeah.
Find out. We're just spreading the word.
We got to do another thing on mind control and how you get mind control. We have to do
Yeah,
a
there
whole
are
video on
multiple
that.
ways you can avoid. So what's about really is navigating the situation. Like a landmine. You wouldn't walk through a landmine field without going, wait a second. There's a bump there. There's a bump there. I'm just going to walk around that.
Yeah.
Or avoid it or not even go in that field.
Right.
So we don't have to do any of this. We don't have to go to the doctor and get help. We can help ourselves. And
We
how
have
we
to teach ourselves.
we teach it, and then you learn, and then you try it on yourself because it's all individual.
And then you help each other like we're doing because we learned this from our own experience of our own healing.
Because we're over 65 and we have wisdom. You do get good things out of getting
Wise
older.
over 65. But if you want to know about anything about us or, find out about us, we're at Natural Healing Ninjas. Or is it the Natural Healing Ninjas?
No.
Natural Healing Ninjas at protonmail.com. And like, share, and subscribe so we can keep putting this word out. The word about healing and become part of the Ninja Nation. We want you a part of the Ninja Nation. We want you to step up and find out how to take care of yourself.
And it's fun.
And how to heal yourself.
It's fun. It's not
We're
torture.
having a great time
Yeah,
with it.
it's not torture at all.
And if you want to be interviewed about your healing practice, let us know. We'll be out there interviewing you, or we could do it online. We could talk to
In
each
front
other.
of your
through the
shop,
phone.
or right.
Yes, or we
Right.
could talk on the phone, or no more phones. But I mean, on the computer. That shows you our age.
So let me add just a PS to this.
Okay.
Watch the Water Part 1.
Okay.
Watch the Water Part 2. Go watch that video, that documentary called Watch the Water.
Okay.
Also, Dr. Brian Artis show.com or drartisshow.com. Go ahead, and he's got tons of information.
That's his website.
That's his website. He's got so much information on all this. plenty of videos, plenty of written, everything's backed up, and he really wants to save a lot of lives, because what he's witnessing in his practice, and his buddies too, and the dentist friends that he's had, is they're getting onslaughted with people not knowing what to do. This is what you can do. Start
yes.
taking care
Take
of
care of
yourself,
yourself.
and take full responsibility.
Contact us.
Don't
We'll-
feel guilt or shame. That's the
We'll
lowest
find
vibration.
ways to help you.
That's
we'll
right.
Find ways to help you. We're not doctors again. However, we can find ways to help you the natural way. The natural
Right.
way. If you want to go that way. If you don't, then that's your choice.
And I'm going to put in the description the weight thing so you can dose yourself with the nicotine patches.
Oh, put it in the description. That
Yeah,
would be
so start
great.
with 1 milligram, build up to 3.5, and you should be good to go. Do it daily until I don't see chemtrails anymore.
Not today.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since, I don't know, a month, which is great.
Well, it's been more often here than.
Oh, has it? Well,
you've been gone.
It's waning, put it that way. It's waning. So that's one of the ways to get the venom in us is through the chemtrails. That's why we
Yes.
keep talking about
That's
that.
right.
But we have solutions to everything. Love
That's
life.
what we're here.
And life will love you back.
Life will
and-
love you back, and thanks for joining us again. See you next time.